Hey everybody, it's Sunday morning as I stippling on at my local dive bar. It's a beautiful Mother's Day, so if you haven't had the chance to do it yet, go say thanks to your mom. I did first thing in the morning, and so before we go any further, of course, the disclaimer: please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Sharing is a big thing that helps out. Actually, all four things help out greatly. So if you do those things, they help out every creator. So the quick notes. Yesterday, Joe Sontag launched the supplemental as an add-on to his Reaper Destroyer campaign. They saw a bump in sales. The importance is not just getting a bump in the overall dollar amount, but a bump in book orders, not just for the supplemental, but for the main book, Reaper Destroyer. The reason why that bump is important is because the more books he is able to print, what happens is the lower the printing cost. So if he's able to lower the printing cost by printing 1,000 books as opposed to 500, instead of it costing $1, it might cost him like 60 cents to print a book. I'm just making those numbers up, but it gets the point across. Give me a moment, please. I apologize. I had a cough there, but that's important. So he can definitely use some assistance with getting a bump in orders. And the biggest thing, of course, is that Kayla is going to be doing one of the supplemental stories. They have artwork on the campaign showing the character that she's doing. It's very TNA and looks, if you like the old 90s stuff where you blatantly show a woman naked. And here's the thing, is that there are creators that will have like a gazillion 3 naughty covers over on Kickstarter and do well with it. So having a book with a woman in the nude isn't a big deal and should not be looked at in a prude eye. And those campaigns over in Kickstarter do quite well. So there's nothing wrong with him wanting to have his female character portrayed in a sexy form. So please, if you can, help check him out. I will have the campaign linked to the description, so please check it out. Also, I will have the description and the link for Clint Holinsky's Superiors. That is his nod to superhero books. Not a specific era, or actually it's the era of the 80s and 90s. He's not like, it's not like an Avengers ripoff. It's not a Justice League of America ripoff. It's like an amalgamation of both of those titles. He has the main story, he has the early adventures story, and then of course he has the Who's Who book, which I'm really looking forward to. I backed it at the tier for the Who's Who book because I really like that. I mean that's one of the things that really got me into comics and checking out all the different titles was the Who's Who books. The Who's Who, the guide to the Marvel Universe. I really liked them and really opened my eyes to how there's more characters than just the characters that are in the Justice League of America or the All-Star Squadron. The Who's Who came out roughly around the same time as the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And for me, that was a big deal because I was like, you would see all these characters I'd never seen before, except for a few that I knew of. But then the bigger thing is like when they had where they went over to in the book, he had introduced a whole bunch of, just for like one scene, because George didn't know if he'd ever had the opportunity to do it. He had like every World War II character in the one sequence in I think it was issue 3 or 4. And for me, it's like one of those where it's like, oh, it's got Sergeant Rock, it's got the Haunted Tank. I mean, I had seen these books sitting on the spinner rack, but I never got them. So that was a big deal. So that's where the Who's Who came in. It really opened my eyes to all the different characters available. And I started actually seeking out certain books because the Who's Who entry of a certain character was so cool. And I was like, oh, I wanted that. What book is this character in? Because I really like this character that I'm reading about in Who's Who. So definitely check out this series. And then lastly, of course, the one I'm going to bring up is the Diaz Brothers with the Lost Pages 3. Remember, it's not the Diaz Brothers necessarily job. It's my job to promote. But if I can get Veronica's hair, if that short, and it's only about it's a 30-second short. So if you go to my channel and look at my shorts, you will see the video of Veronica's hair. If that one gets by Saturday the 20th to 1,000 views, and if the other two videos, the Pittsburgh Green Man and the Virginia Mothman, if we can get those up to at least 500, I will be taking part in the fan art contest for the Lost Pages. That also requires me to get up to 90 subscribers. I'm at 72 right now, and so I gotta keep in mind, I don't want to sound like a snob about this. Okay, I don't want to sound like a snob. But this is the thing, is that you guys see how much time I put into this. And if anybody's been look at the catalog of videos, you'll see that, I mean, I'll have like a month and a half that I was working on the Inglorious Rex piece, a month and a half that I was working on the Wraith of God piece. I mean, these pieces take a while for me to do, and that's working on them exclusively and not working on anything else. So I need an incentive to do these, to do the Lost Pages fan piece. And I do want to. Now, taking part in the contest doesn't guarantee me to win. I still got to compete against a lot of other artists that are very, very good. I know Skunkworks, he's going to be doing one, and he always produces killer work. And then Citizen Ronin, oh my God, he produces such good work in a pulp feel format to it, which I know Phil Diaz loves that style. So I mean, I have stiff competition if I take part in this. And I do want to, but I need to have some type of reward to it, and that is I need to hit 90 subscribers, and I need that Victoria's hair, that video needs to be at 1,000 views, and yeah, the Mothman and the Green Man, they need. I think they need to be at like if they need to be at least at 500 for me to take part in it. Okay. I want to talk about something that I touched upon last night on the chat with Danger Vanessa. Okay. Now we brought up how Shane Davis reached out to Backer Kit and was investigating about getting Glorious Rex to use Backer Kit to promote his campaigns or future campaigns. And he was told, we do not provide a platform to campaigns that are associated with Comicsgate. Okay? Me personally, I mean, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, economics tell you that you don't turn away customers. Okay? But here's the thing also, and we have to face this, we need to be proactive in addressing this and not reactive. Okay? This is one of the things that really kind of, in some ways, bothers me about Comicsgate, is Comicsgate many times is too reactive and not active enough, proactive, if you will. Okay. We all know that there's the writer's strike in Hollywood going on. Okay. Right around the corner, there is also going to be I believe it's the director's strike and the actor's strike. Okay. And it has the great possibility that this strike will go on for quite a while. You got to keep in mind, most studios have all of their lineups already figured out for the next year. Okay, so they can play. So this strike, it is very easy for it to be going on for a year. Okay, and here's the thing: these creators, whether these SJW creators, good or bad, we lump them all together as being bad creators, but good or bad, okay, good or bad, they are going to have to start paying their bills, their rent, their mortgage. Okay, they're going to have a means to provide for themselves. They are still creators. Okay, these SJW creators are just still that. They are still creators. So they're going to take their scripts, their passion projects, and they're like, well, I need to eat. Well, wait a second. What if I take this project and I take this script and I turn it into a comic book script? Okay, and we've already seen this. Somebody posted this online on Twitter just this last week, that there was a writer saying, I need a artist for my project who checks off these boxes. Okay, that's what they love. They love their boxes being checked. They love the boxes. They love the boxes being checked. Okay. I can see there being a large influx in Kickstarter, in BackerKit, in Crowdfunder, in Zoop. All of a sudden, they're going to have a whole bunch of comic book projects or book projects by these SJW screenwriters and Hollywood writers. Okay, because remember, they think they are the shit, these platforms don't care about whether they're successful or not. Okay, as long as they meet their goal, they get their cut. Okay, they don't care if these guys are producing good work or bad work, just as long as they are they get their cut. The example I'll give you is this. Okay, I'm going to use Graham Nolan. He has proven with this last campaign, he can produce a campaign in 30 days that produces $100,000. Now, Indiegogo is getting their cut. Okay? Indiegogo does not care whether it's one person, Graham Nolan, getting $100,000, or whether it's 20 piss poor campaigns that are just barely getting funded over $5,000. Okay, they still get this equal amount of money. This is where, and I can see, because there's going to be a large influx over this next year on BackerKit, on Kickstarter, on Zoop, that it's going to make it easier for them to say, no, Comicsgate, we don't want your books. You guys are problematic. They're not looking at it long term at how loyal the backers have been to Kickstarter campaigns, how vivacious and how brand loyal they can be. Okay? Now I know I spoke out against it, saying how it's like you got these creators in Comicsgate, we got to be looking out for ourselves into expanding the platforms we go to. And if you are doing a crowdfund campaign on Indiegogo and on Kickstarter and on Fund My Comic, that is your choice. It's just like if you like this nib, okay? I got this nib and this pen holder at my local store called the Art Depot. I can buy the same thing over at Michael's, and Michael's is a national chain. I can buy this at Hobby Lobby. I can buy this at probably a Dick Blick. I know there's still Dick Blicks around. Okay, I can go up to the Kubert Art Store. Okay, you can't be limited in going, oh, I can only go to this retailer for this nib. There are various, you put that nib out at as many retailers as you can to make as much money as you can. Okay, but this is where we as Comicsgate need to be proactive, I believe, and we need to make certain we are at CG-friendly sites and on top of getting that crowd from Kickstarter or from Indiegogo. Because you got to keep in mind, if you have and there's a lot of creators over at Kickstarter that they don't fulfill their campaign, or primarily that they don't fulfill, okay? And I mean don't fulfill as in for the last 5 years they haven't fulfilled their campaign, okay? So it makes sense that if you're Billy Tucci and you have your Kickstarter campaign for your latest book, you're also utilizing that through updates, through email updates, to notify them that, hey, just to let you know, we also have campaigns over on this site. We also have our friends who are going to be over at this site. Now's the time to be getting the word out to your customer bases that there's other sites to go to, okay? Walmart did not just show up as the number one retailer in the country. They did it by working in the small markets, dominating those small markets, and then moving on to larger markets. Same thing goes with, say, CVS. CVS, like Rite Aid, like all the other, those are the two main ones I know. Walgreens, okay, Woolworths. Okay, these are pharmacies that were started out as regional companies, and they've now made themselves bigger, that they're now national companies, okay? We need to be, while we're on Kickstarter, while we're on Indiegogo, we need to be using this opportunity now to get our customers over to another platform, so that way when Kickstarter once again says, no, you're Comicsgate, you can't be on this platform. No, you're Comicsgate, you can't be on Indiegogo. Guys, like I said, I do believe it is coming. Over this next year, it is, because whether we like them or not, these piss poor writers in Hollywood, they're still creators, which means there's still some people out there that when they say, hey, I'm doing a book, or an Indiegogo, I'm doing a comic book on Kickstarter, they're going to see an influx in campaigns, and those campaigners are going to be going to the platform and complaining about Comicsgate. They're going to try once again to get us kicked off of these platforms. Now's the time to mobilize. Now's the time to be vocal, to make sure that our fans who are going to be backing these projects are aware and get it and are accustomed to supporting other sites. I truly do believe that, And that's why I'm being so vocal about it, okay? Because we've seen it in the past, and because they're not going to be relying on Hollywood money, and they're going to be relying on crowdfunding, what are they going to do? They're going to use the exact same tactics that they used to get all these people kicked out of Hollywood and kicked out of the comic book industry. They're now going to redouble their efforts, knowing that they've worked in the past, to get us kicked off of Indiegogo and Kickstarter. It's just a sad truth, and that's why I'm kind of. And even if I do not want anybody to think I am crying wolf. I do not believe I am crying wolf. I do believe this is going to happen because, like I said, like them or hate them, they may be producing piss poor products, but they're still creators. And if you're a creator, you have that drive, you have that ambition to create. And as some Hollywood scriptwriters have said, at least if it's in a comic book, somebody's seen it. Okay, we've heard that being used before. So, okay, so that's my spiel. I'm certain that someone else who watches this video is going to be having much more in-depth and more knowledgeable opinion on this subject. I hope that person is able to do a better job, is able to do a proficient job of sounding, of hollering, of blowing that horn, making that call to bring attention to everybody, because I do see it coming. So, hey, I'm going to keep working here. I'm going to be switching over to my other piece, and that other piece, of course, is this one here. This is the Green Man I was talking about, and this is the Mothman I was talking about. This one has about 200 videos. This one has, or 200 views. This one has about 300 views. So if we can get these two videos up to 500, if we can get Veronica's hair up to 1,000, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna work on this zombie today. So this zombie's the hard hat zombie we're going to be working on today. I might also do work on Skull Tree. Yes, you can see here. Here's the eyes. Here is the nose. This is Skull Tree. It's a tree actually in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to be working on that next. But remember, everybody, life is stressful, and that's why we all have to take it one dot at a time.